Hello. How's your day going? Mine has been interesting. Never a dull moment over here. Never. Hi, Kathy. I don't know if you're still here, but hello, hello. So I woke up this morning to hello, Chu. How are you? How's it going? Woke up this morning to stuff, and then I have a leak in my kitchen faucet up here. No big deal, right? Except that I live in a valley of, 5,000 people, 2,500 of whom are probably year round. And they're scattered all throughout these little hills and dales and ranches and, towns really far away over the ridge like that. That's what I like. But so getting a plumber, yeah, I can't just call up like in the city and be like, hey, I got an emergency. Nope, does not work like that. You got to post on Facebook. You got to call your friends and neighbors. You got to, So I've turned off the water to the house, which means I turned off my main water tank so that I don't lose all the water, because that's happened many a time. And then you have to buy water and you don't have enough. And if there's a fire, screwed. But the leak is still leaking. It's a whole thing. Can't find a plumber. So my whole morning has been one of anxiety. Not the way I like to start my day, especially when I'm up here away from my dad, right? Where, I'm having some relaxation and I'm going back tomorrow. Unless a plumber calls me, I will stay an extra day. Prayers for that, man. So, okay. The sun is shining. It's absolutely gorgeous out. It's been freezing cold and not warm during the day, but it's warm now. So, yay. All right. This is my Monday mod styling. This is the day where I bring vintage household goodies as well as jewelry, and I mix them together. Fridays is just jewelry with maybe one or two sometimes other item that is not vintage or gorgeous contemporary jewelry, or at least in my eclectic styling, what I think is gorgeous. And I got a lot of it today. We'll see how far I get. We'll see what happens. I did a preview. There's a couple of things in jewelry wise that I'm very excited to bring. And I definitely have some nice older and a few, one or two antique household goods. So, Lucinda, Fantastic Finds. I use PayPal, shocker. To bill you, I use Pirate Ship to ship, unless there's a problem like last week with my printer, and then I go to the post office and pay full price. Hardly ever happens. Again, count my blessings. This, I think I said this last week on mistake. This is the end. This Friday is the end of my 2-week build a box. I do 2-week build a boxes to save you on shipping and save me time invoicing. You can put 5 items in a box and pay the same price or $1 more, or you can put 1 item in a box and pay, that same price. So I prefer to give you the opportunity to spend less. Alrighty then. If you bid and you haven't bought from me before, I need your, just like everyone, YouTube name, real name, address with zip code, and PayPal email address before tonight. Preferably before the live is done or that item is available. I go in $1 increments above the starting bid unless it's a buy it now. Hello, Cassandra. Hola. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? until it gets to 50. If it's at 50, then the increments are in $2 bidding. And I have at least one, I think one item that's going to go to that price right off the bat. Okay? Any questions? My email is up there. My hair looks crazy in this particular frame, but that's all right. My state of mind is crazy. So, with all of that, I'm just going to go and we're going to see what happens. Because it's one of those things where life just keeps telling you and teaching you. Whoa. Life just keeps telling. One more time, I'm going to try this typing business. Where life is always a constant reminder that no matter how great your plans are, if you make them, God, the universe, whatever, it's going to laugh. So I was all set for today. I had a plan and God laughed. Sounds perfect, doesn't it? Okay. All 4 of these start at 16. I have had these for a while. I love the pattern. Love the pattern. But we'll see if you do. I have a whole different style of dinnerware, or I would be keeping these. So these are Violet China, Japan, Canterbury. They very much feel porcelain more than ceramic. They're very thin, very fine. And the front is beautiful. This is why I picked these up. They're probably from the late 50s, early 60s. But I love this baby blue. They call this Violet China. Okay, those aren't violets. To me, they're more like tiny cornflowers or bachelor buttons. But I think they're beautiful. They are bowls. This is as deep as soup bowls were with your fancy china for a long, long time. Nowadays, we're used to bowls that are super deep because we fill them up so high because we're, Americans and we have big portions. But this was considered, and in restaurants still would be, a soup bowl. So there's, like I said, there's 4 of them. There's no wear, no tear. I'll hold up all 4. Then I'll give you the dimensions. They start at 16. They're very nice. If they're not porcelain, they're extremely fine ceramic. And I can tell the difference in porcelain with, the much older household goods or jewelry and brooches, different things. So this is a stretch, but they're very fine. They're very, so it's 7 3/4 across. The rim is gold painted. So the diameter is 7 3/4, almost 8. And they are 1.5 inches tall. 1.5 inches tall. And I would wager, and you see the little pink? Yeah. And there's the gold rim. I would wager that the whole stack weighs, there's no crazing in the clear coat. They did that right. And it is hand painted. It's not transfer. Let me be really clear about that. I hate saying that and then it not being true. I would wager that this weighs about a pound, just so in case you need to know on shipping. And I'm going to move off from these in a second. I don't do recaps, just so you know. Yes, so definitely what I am calling cornflowers, these very delicate flowers, are hand painted. It's possible that they did transfer for the base of the flower and then added in the blue on top of it, because the blue is, and the pink is raised and the other is flat. So I think it's both transfer and hand painted. No crazing. 1, 2. Might as well show them all as long as I'm at it. 3. Almost 8 inches across. I love these. It's just that I have a different style, or I'd be using them. And I don't have a huge family. 4. So if you change your mind, you know where to find me. However, do remember that unless a plumber calls and can be here tomorrow, I'm going home tomorrow. So you can't claim any of these items after this sale. If you're watching on the rewatch, you can't claim unless you want to claim it. And I will make a note of that. Then it will be, I won't be back up at my homestead for at least 4 weeks. It's 4 to 5 weeks. And then it would be another 2 weeks. So it would be a month and a half until it got to you. Yeah. So something to keep in mind when I'm at the end of my stay at my homestead. That is what happens. Okay. So this is actually going to be a buy it now. This is my only buy it now item of the day. Let me just put that I just changed my mind. Buy it now. I love this again, but I have quite a bit of these vintage style items. So here's the box. Glowing candle. Whoop, whoop. Now, this is one of those things that was made in the late 80s, 90s. It is not older than that. This is when China was starting production, after Taiwan, Hong Kong. Then it was China, and before Hong Kong, Taiwan. There were goods coming in from China. So just because you see China and just because you see this bar does not always mean that it was made in the last 5 years. It goes through the whole thing about how to burn your candle, etc. But look at this candle. Here's the wick. It's never been used. I love this. I don't know if I would ever burn this. Then again, I might. Maybe the power would go out up here, although I have so many candles. But I love this. It's not scented. So the idea is, if you don't know, the wick burns down into here and then creates a glow to the outside of the candle. And after there's about a teaspoon of wax buildup, you pour some out and it just keeps burning straight down to the bottom and creates a glow. So it's kind of like the original fairy lights, right? Shaped like a giant egg. There's the bottom. I will, working but lurking. Good for you. I'm working and not lurking at the moment. It is about 4.5 inches tall. And now at the largest egg part, 3 inches around. Buy it now, 13. I just think it's beautiful. Spring is coming. Valentine's Day is coming. St. Patrick's Day is coming. And it's just awesome. Period. So I know a lot of adults and a lot of teenagers who would love to have this and display it. And now is the right time for shipping candles. Now is the right time for shipping them because they will not melt. Okay, I'm putting it back in its box since nobody has claimed it, because I like to keep everything put away. Okay. Thank you for being here. Whoever is here, I appreciate it. Okay. This starts at $14. I just dropped it by $1. It is a fabulous, I'm going to presume, Italy, because it has the adventurine all around it. Hand blown vintage paperweight. It is a dark red. It's got that elephant toad. There's 6 of them. Look at that. Looks like it has little dog hairs from my dog. I hope not. I really like the design. I love how they pulled the gold all the way up to the handle. Here's the little knob. It's really nice. You can just picture, like now I have my overhead fan on. It works really well. Here's the bottom. And it is a deep red. Oh, there is encased white. I was seeing that on the bottom, which is very interesting because I actually look at this all the time, and without the computer, I don't notice that. But there is some encased white with the red over it. That's interesting. No idea. But it is dark red. I hope that's coming through. I'm going to give you a height. What, Kathy? Oh, for shipping candles. Where you are, the height was 4 degrees. Kathy, is that what you're saying to me? Because that's horrible. Kathy. Oh, there's a little bit of glitching. Little bit. Sorry, and a little bit of a lag. Good Lord, I'm so sorry. No. That's what I have to say about that. No. Nope. Okay. Kathy, bless your heart. Okay. Now I'm going to start bringing out jewelry. Like I said, I mix and match. Mix and match what's going on here. This starts, whoops, I got to do this. And feel free to lurk, but also feel free to say hi. Feel free to enlighten me about something that I don't know. Feel free to talk about pretty much anything except politics or religion. I mean, you can ask for prayers. You can ask for comfort. You can say you're having a rough time. I do it all the time. But let's just don't be divisive. Let's be vintage. Take me away. That's what I use this time for. Okay, this to me is, I don't know if this is a lucite, just a plastic. Not a clue, but I love the colors. Brought it several times. This color purple is spectacular. I'm wagering this is a 70s piece. It could be 60s, but I remember stuff like this from the 70s. This is plastic, swirl whites and deep magenta in these molds. Different, hard to show. So getting wiped out in terms, you see the color over here by my nail? This is what it usually looks like, this darker color. So if it was in a bright light, it might go to that lighter color. But see, and then it has these two swirled purples, some kind of medallions. Don't ask me, I don't know. It's just supposed to be a fun and funky charm bracelet, a la 1970s style. Plain pink, darker purple, but not the same as that. On just a gold tone chain, and it is a, there's the jump ring, and there's the barrel clasp. Really simplistic, but I love plastic, and I love this piece. Makes a great noise. I think that's a lot of what I like about plastic is the noise. And it fits my wrist. Let's see, does it? Yes, it fits my wrist, but I would have a hard time with that because I'm older. It's harder for me to do that. I would need one of those accessories. So it fits up to a 7.5. So I would say from the end of a lady's small, 6.5, up to the middle of a lady's medium, 7.5. And it's just really fun, okay? And that's what I like. Purple, yes. Purple, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. I need the amusement. I just, plastic's my favorite. Plastic's my favorite jam, y'all. Okay. So I don't do recaps. Don't do recaps. And as always, if anyone here watched my preview and is interested in a particular item, please drop it in the chat. Let me know. If anyone here is looking for a particular item and you think maybe I have it, let me know. I'm gonna, I meander. I have like this bucket of jewelry. If I showed you the basket I've shown in the last 2 days, you would be like, I just meander. So I'm meandering. Okay. Uh-oh. The fan is on and the bag just blew away. Okay, I don't know the makers on these. I think they are late 60s, early 70s. They don't show up very well in the preview, but look how nicely they show up here. They are clip-on earrings. They have oodles of shine. They're on just this basic gold tone metal. They have, the other thing I love is movement. These have movement. These have lots of movement. There's something I'm seeing I want to check on here after I show you the back. Oh, I didn't highlight it. Sorry, start at 12. Let me show you clip on. And they are concave with 2 layers. And what I wanted to check, now that's very interesting. Hold on. Wait a minute. That's confusing me. Hold on. No. Okay. For a minute, it looked as though there was a dead stone. It's not. There's not. So, what would they look like on your ears? Like that. These are wedding ready. So, my daughter's wedding was at the Madonna Inn in California. If any of you know about the Madonna Inn, one of those fabulous 1940s, 1950s, first a roadhouse, then a huge hotel complex. Absolutely out of this world. But her wedding had a lot of vintage and just eclectic attributes. And these would have been beautiful for me to wear to her wedding. So they're about 1 inch around, maybe a little more. Maybe almost 1.5 inches. Boom. Okay. Now, the bag is on the floor. And no matter how much I try to go get it, it's not happening. So we're just going to put them away over here. Okay, what's going on? I highlighted 12. Then it went away. Now it's back. So those were 12. Remember, you can't claim any of these after, good Lord. If you're watching on the rewatch, you would have to claim something by 5 o'clock tonight. 5 o'clock tonight, my time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's 8 o'clock your time, okay? Because I don't, I have items up here at my homestead, and I have a whole bunch of items down at my father's. And I do carry some back and forth as I get new stock, or I want to bring back some old stock, but I don't take it all. That would be impossible. And I don't do recaps. So, let's do something. Let's do this. Let's do this, y'all. $30. $30. $925 sterling. And hold on. My nice loop is down at my father's. And again, that just goes on with some numbers. I can't read them. So it is this, again, probably 1970s. Really nice, thick sterling silver. Could be earlier. Could be from the 60s. This is something that one of 2 places I would have found it back in the 70s. I would have found it either from someone who had recently raided their mother's jewelry box and got some Native American pieces, or from a street artist on Telegraph. Not places like Macy's or Capwell's or whatever y'all have back east. I'm not sure what you have. It is very heavy and thick. Let me take you over here. Right there are the letters I cannot read. And then right there is where it says sterling 925. I do not know the grams of this, okay? I don't do that. I don't know it. I do know that it fits me. And you know what? I didn't know that before. So that means it fits a 7.5 and it fits over my hand. My fingers are a little chubsy, but I don't have big knuckles or anything like that. I have tiny little fingers. But the fact that it fits me, I'm going with a 7.5. So again, you could wear it from a 6.5 to a 7.5, as long as you don't mind something that's a little looser. But now that I know it fits me, it may wind up being one of my bracelets that goes on this arm and never comes off. A lot of these are my grandma's or her sisters, my great aunt Ho-Ho's, and some are gold from India. Some are just crap, but I never take these off. This may be joining those ranks. Starts at $30. It's heavy. It's really, I mean, what more can I say about it? It's at least 50 years old. There you go. That's all I got for that. And you know what? I'm going to put it aside. If someone doesn't claim it by the end of the sale, I'm going to wear it for a while. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I am going back to a household item or two. Start choice at 10. I have two, and they are a little different. It is this cherry red. It's a darker red. There you go. Bakelite martini glasses. I have two of these red ones. Now this one, these are blown glass with the even. I feel like that's really washing out. There you go. The bubbles are even. Is it because of the ring light? Now, this one, okay, is that? Yes. You see this? This is from the manufacturing process. This is when they blew the glass. There is actually a little hole here, and then this goes along, and it's smooth. It's in the glass. It is not a later crack or other defect. I checked that out because I got them and they were in perfect condition. And then I picked this one up and I thought, oh no, has it been sitting and cracking? No, that is just, there you go. See that? It's almost like when you blow glass, sometimes it pops right there. And that's like how the bubbles get in the older glass. This just popped as it was cooling. Here's the bottom. That's one. And here, let me put this down, is the other. Your choice, starting at 10. This one is a little bit lighter red. See, now this one you can see very clearly the even Bakelite bubbles. And you know what I did for several years? I had air plants inside of these. And they loved it. They just sat in here and I misted them and they were great. You can display whatever you want in here. You can hang a necklace off. You can drink from them. You can get two and have a party. These would be nice for some iced espresso or something. So this one is much more swirled in dark red, and this one is a red without the swirls. They are, you know, we always have to do this. How tall are they? Five inches tall. Jello shots. Oh my God. 5 inches tall and almost 4 inches wide at the top of the glasses. These are pretty cool. $10 starting, your choice. Going down, going away. Jello shots. I don't think I've ever had a Jello shot, Kathy. I've had a lot of different types of drinks in my life, but I don't think so. I don't think I've ever had. No, I don't think so. I think I'd remember that. And I'm okay with that. That Long Island iced tea, man, what a mistake that was. Never again. I don't really drink anymore. Yeah, I don't drink. You know, I've done the moonshine across the border in Nevada, bring it back to Tahoe. I've done, you know, no, that was when I was younger. I don't do that anymore. I just maybe half a glass of wine here and there. So here we go with the Jasper, Kathy. Thank you for that YouTube video you sent me, by the way. I subscribed to them. Jasper carved little mushroom. Teeny tiny little guy. $16. It's got a lot of different colors. I have a note somewhere that says the exact name, but I couldn't find it the other day, so I'm not going to bother trying to find it today. Look at that. I think it's really sweet. Mushrooms are big. It's a heavy little thing. It too could act as a paperweight. Go out in your garden, mix it in with your displays, with your knee hugger elves. Your choice. And it's about 2.5 inches tall. 2.5 inches tall. So just a little taller than me. Kidding. Thank God I'm more than 2.5 inches tall. Okay. Let's see. Oop. I need to put this over here. I'm going to hydrate. Did anyone see my preview and have something they want to see? Because otherwise I just go. And I'm fine with that. But sometimes people come in and there's one thing in particular they really want, and they need to go, and I respect that. I understand that very much so. Let's see. These are going to start at $22. I am doing these for a lot less than the last time I brought them. I feel positive. But now please remember that I'm 80% knowledgeable and 20% fallible. So you use your judgment, okay? And I always say this, but I mean it. Excuse me. If you ever purchase something from me and then you get it, you receive the item and you look at it and you're like, what is this? That's not right. Lucinda is wrong. She's full of crap. Please get back to me and tell me that you do not believe the item is what I said it was, and you would like to return it. Now, that doesn't mean you can just send items back because you decide you don't like them. No. But if you receive something and, and then you're like, oh, then, talk to me, because I'm not trying to lie to you. Honestly, I do have a lot of knowledge. But with me, there's room for error, 20%. And particularly with these, because I'm just learning my stones. But I feel positive after bringing them before and looking at them when I bought them, looking at them after I purchased them, looking at the cut of the stone. See how it comes down to a point right there? Looking at how many facets, I always say that, facets there are, and at the lemon green color, that this is citrine. Now, let's bring the ring light back. Nowhere on here, if you saw these in the sun, which I am not in the sun, you would see how much they sparkle. They sparkle like crazy. And at first I thought, well, maybe they're just a really pretty yellow-green glass. But there's just too much going on. Too much sparkle. They're cut exactly like a stone, and there is a couple inclusions. Now, nowhere on these post back do they say anything about gold. So if they would only put citrine in gold posts, then they're not citrine. Could they be man-made citrine? Maybe. I don't know. But these are beautiful, and they're big. For posts backs, they are big. See that? Sexy. I think these are really sexy. I think these are really pretty. And they have their backs. These are probably the original backs. These are not vintage. Duh. There's nothing vintagey about these. There is a tiny little mark of some sort right there, but it just doesn't seem to, yeah, right, Kathy? I believe that I see inclusions, okay? And I mean, I have held this up to the sunshine and looked, and there's like little things. So, yeah. 22. These are beautiful. I wish I could show you in the sunlight like I did with my Bakelite rhinestone earrings. The color goes on and on. Beautiful. They're probably, I mean, I just don't know if you can see the depth. They're probably about a half an inch across. So those started at 22. These will probably come back down with me. But not very many of the jewelry items are, because I have so much. I have so much. Okay. Let's see where I'm at on my list and what's going on. I feel like I'm just starting to settle back down in my body after this whole water thing. I mean, like first thing when I woke up, I had to drive up to my tank. It's not that far away, but I hadn't even had coffee yet. I'm in my pajamas, my robe, and I'm over there cranking the thing shut. And then I'm like trying to find the things that lead into the house. And I'm just like, blah. I am not a farmer. contrary to popular opinion, I can garden. I could raise chickens. There's a lot of little tiny handy woman things that I can do. I have fixed the sink that is broken numerous times. But this particular thing is not something I can fix. And it just stresses me out. Okay, these start at the kitchen sink. Kathy, you would have to okay, just as a sidebar real quick. My homestead that I live in is a prefab building. Just my mom and dad someone did the cement rebar flooring. Okay. Someone graded it, but they also did too. They had a little mini tractor called truck. They did a lot of that themselves. They put this up by themselves, just my mom and dad, with no electric tools in the 80s. I'm not kidding around here. My dad put the water pipes together with like garden hose but regular faucets. I have the whole thing, bath, vanity, bathtub, hot water heater, kitchen sink. Water flows downhill from a tank after it's pumped uphill from the spring at the but the system is 45 years old, and what he did at the time is now it's not working. And so it needs to all be redone and redone properly. Or I would fix it myself. We've replaced the washer over there 4 times in 2 years. Not anymore. I'm done. These are listener clip-on earrings. These are gorgeous. These are gorgeous. I had a bracelet very much like this that I sold 9 months ago. The pastels. These AB pastels shaped like a half moon. These are listener. I mean, that's what you can say about these. These are listener. One of the most collectible costume jewelry names out there. It's in the medium. I would say these are in the medium scale of vintage collectible jewelry. But they are definitely a higher end maker. And they're beautiful. I was thrilled when I found these because this type of stuff is getting harder and harder to find out there. In the wild, I mean, like at thrift stores, hobby stores, it's harder and harder to find this stuff. It's all on eBay. So there's pinks, yellow, greens, and blues. A little bit of deep red with AB coating. Here they are on my ears. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Pretty, pretty. How big are they? How big are they? That's what we always want to know. How big is it? They are an inch. They're an inch long. And they're beautiful. Yeah. Look at that. Listener. Absolutely gorgeous. You have any other listener, you know this pastel is one of their signature lines. It's one of their more desirable lines. Grab it while you can. This is new stock for me. First time I've ever shown it. Well, I'm definitely not running copper pipe up here, Kathy. That's not happening. I would be fine with running garden hoses again or just PVC pipe. I have PVC pipe, okay, in my house, PVC pipe. This is a very different type of living than the city. Very different. It is a homemade homestead. And my dad did it with the home and garden, Sunset Home and Garden books on how to do plumbing, how to do this. And he did go to MIT to become an engineer. But after he got his bachelor's, he realized that he didn't want to do all that math. That was, even though he could do it, it wasn't quite his deal. And he moved into a field and transferred out of MIT. But he had that experience to bring to building all of this and to creating the plumbing thin air on his own. And it lasted for 45 years. So, but we're not running copper. Need a new water heater and new correctly done PVC pipe. Now that the water tank is fixed, squared away, got a great pump down at the creek, the inside. 45 years, things start breaking, Kathy. Things started breaking on me after 45 years, I'll tell you that. And definitely after 60 years, things have started to break. And, we just slap a little bit of paint on, put our hair up, and call it done, right? Okay. This beautiful, beautiful necklace starts at $30. I love this. Yeah, I'm a bookkeeper over here, Kathy. Bookkeeper over here, not accountant. Different animal. And I can do bookkeeping all day long, but it's boring. And I'm not doing accounting. Because once you know how to do accounting, then you're supposed to know how to do people's taxes. And if you don't, they get upset. And so I'm like, nope, I'm just a QuickBooks gal. I can organize you. I can file stuff. I can call people. I can be your girl Friday. I can do QuickBooks blind, but I am not your accountant, man. Okay, so here is the clasp. It has this orange crystal, this beautiful blue glass. This is blue glass. I'm going to go around. This is, yep, tiger's eye, gold findings, little rondelles, gold spacers. Here's some more cut blue glass. Look at this yummy amber with, it's either gold or silver tone foil in there. I brought a yellow piece with that. This is only the second time that I've seen these beads with the foil inside. I love that. This is a purple brown with this line. No idea what that is. Here's a blue with multiple colors. And now look at these. These are more of a brown with the splatter. Huge ceramic beads. Absolutely gorgeous. Here is maybe a clear glass because it has this distinctive like linked up circle design. Very interesting. More splatter beads. Here's another with this. Oh, this is carved into it like deliberately, like as if they, wait a minute, is it carved or is it? No, it's overlaid with something. Anyway, here's some more spacers, giant splatter ones. There you go. See that? So it is very long. I just wanted to give you the gist of what's going on overall. It's very long. Here's the top. Two splatters, and all these beads are unique and gorgeous. Two more splatters and one at the bottom. Very long. Hola, Maritza. $30. This is just beautiful. So and it sounds good. These are heavy. These are solid. It would look really good on with what I'm wearing. So let's try to sit up. Comes down to the middle. It's a really, really nice piece, and it's smooth. It's not edgy or rough. I mean, you can feel the things that, that are raised, but it's not uncomfortable, and it's not too heavy. Let me start at 30. This is an excellent price for that. You couldn't buy half of these beads for that amount. Not even. And the bright orange really intrigues me. The splatters are brownish, dark red with dark red, green, orange, yellow, blues. Hand painted, so each one is unique. Oh, they're over black. That is black. Ta-da. Let me see something. That is black. Oh. Okay. Hey, hold on. Sorry. I want to tell you how long. 1734. So it's 17 inches on each side. 34 inches in total. But I want to say that I just found that these are older. They're glass, similar to marbles. They're made like marbles, blown glass. And that is a chunk out of the main bead. I never saw that before, and it certainly was not revealed to me when I bought it. It is the layer of where the splatter is put on, baked over, that is gone. If that would have been revealed to me when I had purchased, I probably still would have purchased, but I would have asked for a reduction in price. So that is what I'm going to do here. Because you don't really notice it when it's on. It's still an artisan's piece. But because of that, it is now $24. You could take this apart and use every single bead on here, and it would still be cheaper than buying the beads. And then just take the largest center bead and put it in a jar with marbles and use all the rest of them. Yep. Okay. It's going. Remember, I don't do recaps. I just, when I first started on YouTube, I've been doing this at flea markets and on eBay for a long time. But when I first started on YouTube, I followed the rote format. And I did recaps every time because that's what I was taught to do. And I have to say that with the exception of just a handful of times, like less than 2 hands, I never made a sale on a recap, and yet I had to hold every item up and everything had to be written down. And I had to say item 1, item 2, item 3, and didn't make a difference. So, I don't see the point. Okay. So far, I'm surprised that nobody's been interested in anything. But can you all really say that you are not interested in this item? Because there is, I looked this up this morning. When I first got it, I looked it up and there were none out there. I just looked it up today and I found 2 of this exact one, and that's it. And one of the listings says that this is from the 1970s. This is not from the 1970s. This is from the 1960s. I bought this for me, and it is a plastic and celluloid. Okay. In fact, I think it's mostly actually celluloid. I bought this for me, and I had stored in here all of my most precious rhinestone necklaces and earrings, like that pair of listener earrings I just showed. But then I rearranged everything recently, and I realized it wasn't quite what I wanted, even though I love plastic. And I decided to offer it up to all of you. Look at this beautiful, it is by Maybelline. It is a makeup box. Someone has this listed on Etsy as a sewing box. It is a makeup box. It is a beauty box. Look at these incredible 3-dimensional roses. And I paid a lot more than this for it. I'm going to tell you that right now. And it's large. It has these handles. It has little bumped out feet. See how it's really thin, and you see how it's red. It's red, but you can see how it's been around for a while, because I believe it used to be, it's not showing correctly, all very bright red, not cherry red, but brighter, and it's lost some of that. Man, the color is so washed out. I don't know. I give up. This happens to me all the time. So let me show you the inside. This is beautiful. The celluloid roses. See how much they're raised up off the box? Yeah. So here's the lid, and look, see how this is thin. It's very heavy, but you can just see through it. See my thumb? Yeah. Here is, I just want to show you that there isn't any damage. Okay. There's the lid. Let me put it over here. And it is a red. I don't know. Boy, there is like a 20-second lag from StreamYard to YouTube. Here is the bottom. It is about 1 inch tall, and then the lid is another inch. So it's about 2 inches tall. You can store so much in here. It is a beautiful piece. You want dimensions? And I know it's $40, but it is $40. The only place where there is wear, and it is 55 years old or more, is right here at the corner. There's that little bit of breakage. but it is plastic, so I forgive it. Let me tell you how long it is. It's absolutely stunning. It's absolutely stunning. If you have, your old vintage makeup, if you have your old, like I was storing my rhinestone collectible costume jewelry in here, make it into a sewing box if that's what you want. It is 13 inches without the handles. With the handles, it is 16 inches long. And it is 9 inches wide. Yep. It's absolutely stunning. There's 2 online. I paid more than twice what I'm asking. And that was a couple of years ago. So things change in prices. And eBay is the great leveler. I think this is beautiful. You know someone who wants a Valentine's Day present, who has a vintage style home, who wants to store all their little makeup eyeshadow palettes in something? This is perfect. This is perfect. So I'm going to put it down over there. I don't know. Sorry, there was my hand. Sorry. I don't know. I brought that on a whim today to see if there was any interest. I'm not sure. Thank you for looking. Thank you for being here. Welcome in. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring it back anytime soon. So if you think about it and you change your mind, let me know, because I do still love it, even though I'm not currently storing anything in it. And I'm not sure I'm going to bring it back. There you go, Kathy. I should. And it very likely is going back in my bathroom. So, because that's what I took all my collectible rhinestone jewelry and put it in new vintage jewelry boxes. And then I had my eyeshadow palettes in it. So we'll see. But that's a good idea, Kathy. I could see that. Now, wait a minute. I already showed this, but I put it back in the wrong place. Yes, I did. That's a good idea. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy always coming up with the good ideas over here. Okay. Now, this starts at 15. This is really cool. But, I mean, I say that about everything. Well, right? It's in my preview. A lot of people, my shorts have been getting my shorts. Sorry, I was married to an electrician for years, so there's like a whole bunch of jokes that go in with that. We won't get into that now. But my shorts and my previews have all of a sudden been getting like hundreds of views within a few hours. And I'm like, whoa, what am I doing differently? I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing differently. I feel like I've always been doing pretty much the same thing since I started selling on YouTube, but apparently not. I don't know. The Bakelite Weiss earrings has almost 400 views, and I just published it yesterday afternoon. I was like, what is going on? Okay, this has no name. I thought this had a name. I was looking for a maker's mark. This is, okay, so I want to show you the back of this charm bracelet. Kathy, then you get it. Yes, I'm here to check your shorts. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the back of this is I had a bracelet like this with a safety chain and clasp that was a Napier. This exact same design, pretty much. So just this side I love, right? It is just your fold over clasp. There is no name. I have no name. Oh, it's upside down. Let me do it the other way. So the back is cool. This is a faux pearl. This, I think this is from the late 70s, 80s. Although it has all the hallmarks of 50s, especially this design. So I'm just going to put the caveat in there. It's possibly earlier. This is just some kind of a plastic. It is not turquoise. However, this is cool to the touch and feels like it may be a stone, but considering the other one is plastic and it's a faux pearl, that also is supposed to be lapis, but it is plastic, so it's all faux. There is, I don't know what that is. A scepter, a flower. Use your imagination. And then it repeats. And it's very heavy. The metal is really, really well done. And that's why I'm surprised it doesn't have a name. And they went out of their way to make it look real. It's, I think it's older than the 80s. I do. It's like 60s. It's just all faux. But the workmanship is really nice. It's very well articulated. It just fits on my wrist, so it's up to a 7.5. And it's only a start of $15. Look how pretty. Nobody? Okay, yeah. Right. Me too. Because of this design. It's so solid. This is heavy, heavy metal work. So even though this is all faux with the plastic to make it look like, the coral and turquoise and lapis and pearls, look at the prongs. Look at the settings. And this, it's solid. It's heavy. And it reminds me of Napier in this design. So, yeah, I think it's more like 50s. But there you are. So that was only 15. I don't do recaps. So what I would suggest, friends, is if you're coming in now, and I'm about halfway through maybe. If you saw my preview, to drop in the chat what you'd like to see, and I will bring it up. Or to go to the beginning, put your settings on ×2 and through, and drop in the chat what you might be interested in looking at and asking if it's still available, because I'm going home tomorrow. And unless you buy by 5 o'clock my time, which is 8 o'clock Eastern, because I'm in California, it's not, you claim and you send me all your information. We all know what that is. It's not going with me. It's staying here. It's just too hard to have so much jewelry and beautiful vintage home goods at home. And then this is actually my home. That's my dad's, but it's my family home. So this is my homestead that my family, my parents, built. But this is where I live when I'm not a caregiver, which has been going on for 4 years now. Okay, This is from the 1950s. It's just a simple little brooch. Starts at 10. Simple little. It's reminds me of the atomic era. Very starburst. Very kind of atomic. Baby blue and white. Silver tone brooch. There is no name. Okay. Where does that, I say that a lot all the time now since I said it a couple months ago. Here's the question of the day. I have no name. What movie is it? What movie is that from, y'all? It's one of my favorite. See how the pin back goes all the way through? Past the brooch edge. Yep. Mediocre puddling. That's why it's $10. It's not, it's not anything super special, but it's very dainty. It's very pretty. And I wear brooches on everything, and I would rock this all day long. I will show you these. This is probably very recent. Reminds me of Bridgerton, but it's way past time that a cameo like this should be in existence. And then look at my little red bird. I wear brooches on all my country shirts, and I wear country shirts every day. I call them country shirts. I don't know why. I just do. Where did I just put that to measure? Oh, here it is. I just had it in my hands. Okay. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches starting at 10. And it's nothing to sneeze at. It's just not, a super high quality costume jewelry designer. But, I would wear it. It would look fantastic on this green shirt. Boom. Instant, what I call elevation. Okay, so no one answered me. Where is that from? I have no name. How about another hint? Some movie trivia. It's a whole gopher family. Anyone? Nobody? You guys, come on. Somebody has to know. It's like one of the most well-known cult movies out there. Okay. This starts at $34. Remember, this is Monday's mod styling. So eventually, I'd like to get to the point where I try to bring items that fit everyone's budget, that fit everyone's taste, right? So I'm not just catering to one group. However, I'd like to get Monday's mod styling to a place where all the items kind of match up and they are styled, and I can really bring it to you and say, look, here is all of this, and you can put it all together and look what happens. We'll see. Oh, sorry. My paper is blowing around. Let's do this. Okay. This is a piece of Rosewood Pottery, water lily. It is one of the smaller pieces. I love this design. I love this color because while it's a rose pink water lily color with this beautiful green. It's also very matte, very natural, very simple while being dramatic. I think that's one of the key things about Roseville was that it was so simple in its drama, right? And that's the kind of thing I like, is simple in the drama. Oops, upside down. This is an original. I know that because I bought this at a hospice where there was a giant collection that had been donated of pieces I'd never heard of, never seen, and never will again. Like a huge seashell. I mean, like 2 feet long and a foot tall. That was Roseville. Who here has seen that? Say it again. There's a whole gopher family, Kathy. I have no name. How about Dapper Dan? What if I say Dapper Dan? For crying out loud. So it is a 3-inch tall pink water lily. And they made a double seashell. Kathy, how do you know these things? And what is the name of the movie? Come on. So it's 4 inches wide from side to side on the top. But if you're just measuring the opening, 3 1/4. And 3 1/2 inches tall. Woo! By about 5 inches in diameter. I have no idea why they call it a 3-inch. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of Rosewood pottery. You ever wanted to add this simplistic drama to your vintage style, to your vintage life? Now's the time. Okie dokie. Nobody ever plays What's That Movie with me. I have 100 favorite movies. Okay. Now, this for sure is not everyone's cup of tea, but it definitely, some people love this still to this day, and I don't blame them. There's something just so sweet about it. And with Valentine's Day coming up, and it's the winter, and so many of our elders are going through a tough time, and the colors, I think it's totally appropriate. There's a string there for hanging on the wall. It's an old piece of kind of like a fishing line, but it's yellow. It's very strong. Made in Japan. This is probably from, the 60s, late 50s. See what I mean about the gold and the pink and then all the pink flowers? To me, the Valentine's. It's a big one. It's really pretty. It says, grandmother. It means a lot all year through to have a grandmother just like you. You're really grand in every way, much more than words could ever say. And it's big. It's a big one. You got a grandma? Is she feeling blue? Is she ill? Is she coming up on her last time? Her birthday's coming up. Valentine's Day. It's a wonderful, wonderful present for her. And this has 0 issues of any kind. I was tempted to ask more because it's much older. Definitely vintage styling. But, you know, I would like someone to give this to their grandmother. My grandmothers are gone. My mom is gone. My dad will be gone soon. I mean, I don't have one aunt left and a couple of cousins. So doesn't somebody want to give this to their grandma? I'm going to wager it's 7 inches, maybe almost 8. Yep. 8 1/4 diameter. I figured as much because it's almost as big as my head, and heads are usually about 8 inches. Yeah. Yep. Your parents, Kathy, or your grandparents? Or both? It's a whole thing. I'm sorry. And I shouldn't have said that. That made me get all laugh. Yep. Okay. So let's do let's do this, and then I'll do that and that. Okay. Y'all even know what I'm talking about. Okay. Remember, I don't do recaps, everyone. This is the lowest I've ever brought this. And it does, oh good Lord. This is this piece I've been through so many times trying to read its name, the maker, and I think I've almost gotten it or even have gotten it a couple times, and then I lose it all over again. So let me show you what the heck I'm talking about. It starts at 23. This is an older vintage piece. It's not a repop. It's an enameled. It's either a cicada or a bee, but I'm going with cicada. Gold tone. Style of bug, the cicada, has been popular since Victorian times. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they used to collect bugs in taxidermy. This is a really nice one. Maybe cicadas had a special meaning. I'm not sure. Yeah, cicada. Thank you, Kathy. Black eyes. And then I'm going to show you what I mean. See, there is a name there. I'll show you. I cannot begin to make it out. And this piece I've had for, I don't know, 6 months. And I have never, no matter what loop, I have multiple different loops. I've never been able to figure out what that says. And I mean, I've seen other cicada pins just like this, and they sell. 23 may sound like a lot, but these sell for a lot of money on eBay, the Great Leveler. So what eBay does, on the one hand, it's fantastic. It levels the playing field so that people who are charging outrageous amounts of money, buyers who are coming in, can go, whoa, that's an outlier. That's ridiculous. This median average price, okay, I can go from there, right? However, depending on the style, depending on the item, depending on what's trending right now, that averaging can do a disservice to us resellers and us who collect. But the last time I looked, these were going for as much as $60, and that was the average price. So 23 is not an outrageous price. How big is it? How big is it? LaDonna looks like a peanut. What are you talking about, Kathy? Kathy, what are you talking about? There you go. LaDonna, are you... Kathy, are you serious, or is she afraid of them and you're trying to get me to freak her out? Why don't you take a screenshot and send it to LaDonna? It is 2 inches long. Kathy, I feel like you're and 1 inch at its widest. Oh, okay. Big or bug? Thank you. Well, take a screenshot, Kathy. I will try to remember to send it to LaDonna, or I could I could try to remember to, I'll put it over here, to put it on IG and tag her. Yeah, we talk on IG a little. I talk on IG to dozens of all the people that, you know, were there when I, before I started. I found everyone during COVID, and all these people were just in chats, and then everyone started reselling, and, you know, it took me longer to get there, but yeah. Okay. This is really interesting, and I'm just going to, you know, see what happens. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. Talk about vintage styling, mod styling. Oh my God. Starts at 15. This is so 1970s. Back, you know, at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. All those, you know, up and down the East Coast seashell stores. Yep. Look at all the bazillion of teeny tiny conch shells. This is a ball of them. A ball. Look at this. Imagine, I love this. I look at this and I think, wow, what if we had waited and these were like, you know, the large size? This thing is so cool. There's no damage to any of the shells. Dang, you know, Poodle, it was last fall, I think, did a seashell themed elderly poodle, seashell themed wedding florist for her niece. This would have been a beautiful centerpiece for that. Here's the bottom. See, it just keeps going round and round. And here is the top. There is no way to hang this. There's nothing missing. There's no damage. Yeah. Heck yeah. From the 70s, like macrame and stuff. Yeah. She bought lots of shells from me because the shells that I was selling, and they weren't inexpensive, but they weren't expensive, were cheaper than wholesale florist, which is ridiculous. So look at this. So I would put this on a stand. In fact of the matter is, let me show you. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. You could come up with lots of things. But if you want to get like, oh, the shells are upside down. If you want to get like all totally mod, you could put it in like this arrow. This is brass and steel wrapped. I have the bookends for this as well. This is not an inexpensive. This is totally the MCM period. No idea what it was meant to hold, but I think it holds this quite lovely. So I would find something like that. And if anyone's interested in this piece, let me know. It is not expensive, but it is not cheap. And I have the matching bookends, but they're down at my dad's, which I'm going there tomorrow. So the other thing you could do, remember we talked about these cups and how you could do so many things with them? Well, there you go. You could buy one of those little light stands on Amazon, or just those round little wooden stands. So if you go into like one of those Tibetan stores that sells all the crystals and whatnot, they have those teeny tiny little wooden stands that they put the crystal balls on, and they'll sell you one for like, $1, 10 cents if you know the people. And then you could just put this on there. It's a great beach theme piece. It's a great boho piece. It's a great garden piece. It's a great conversation piece. And I just, again, because I love the beach, I love these shells. So it started at $15. And again, if someone's interested in this and the matching bookends are $65. They're huge. They're steel and brass. This is steel and brass as well, wrapped. Incredibly well made, MCM. This right here is $22. It's heavy. This is the epitome of MCM style. Okay, I have to put this down, y'all. Sorry about that. Not easy. And I'm putting the shell in it so it doesn't get broken. Sorry about my reach. Yes, Poodle did. I haven't seen Kathy. Have you seen Poodle lately? I haven't seen Poodle used to stop into my sales fairly regularly, but I haven't seen her in a while. And I was just thinking of her last night, and I was thinking, man, where's Poodle? I miss Poodle. I do. Okay. This is my favorite item of the day. This, I did a 19-second short, and it just is going out of control. Oh, her son has that power over her. I mean, I get it. And it's really none of my business. But unless she was really hurting herself financially, we should be allowed to live our lives as elders, because what did we live all that time for? Okay, so Well, I'll reach out to her. Okay, these are Weiss, and I'll tell you, I know they are because I looked them up. These are Weiss. I knew immediately that these were Bakelite. And then I did a couple of tests to confirm. These are listed on other sites as lucite and just plastic resin. And I'm like, no. The minute I got them in my hands, I was like, oh my God, those are Bakelite. Look at that. And I cleaned them up and I ran some hot water on the back and I did several tests. These are Bakelite. These are not any of that other stuff. One person even is calling this thermoset. And I'm like, thermoset? Do you even know what thermoset plastic is? I did a short on these. These crystals are out of control sparkling in the sun. If I could, there you go. I did a short. You could look at that. If I had sun over here, I mean, you can see just in this movement, but if I had any sun, the rainbows these throw off is unbelievable. So these are very high quality, which you would expect Weiss, Weiss jewelry to be. This is a really good price. They're clip-on earrings. I would clip them on my shirt collars. I would just put them in my collection. Look at the sparkle. Oh my God. I'm having a hard time selling these. Now, here's the back. That is not thermoset plastic. And it is not celluloid. It is a cream Bakelite. You can see the rhinestones in a couple of places almost coming through in the mold. And now, I'm going to tell you about these. Someone replaced the clips. And they did it probably in the 50s, early 60s, because these are very old clips, but they do not say Weiss on them anymore, which all the ones online say Weiss, and that's how I know they're Weiss. I knew they were Bakelite, but see, the clips obviously broke. Maybe a young daughter inherited these from her mother, or a mother from grandmother, I don't know. And they replaced the clips. There's nothing wrong with them. They work perfectly fine. And they are large. Here, actually, let me open this back up. They're totally sturdy. Oh, see, you can't see that, but I see rainbows all on my computer right now. These aren't playing. These are dramatic. Dramatic. Let me take this off and put it on my ear. Look at that. I can't see what I'm looking at, but y'all just take a moment and look. And tell me that this is not something that you would throw on, and they don't hurt. They're very light clips. Oftentimes clips are too tight on pierced ears and they really bother me. These are not bothering me at all. Woo-wee. With that said, and the fact they're not bothering me, and they're so like, boom. I may keep these. Can't believe nobody is interested. Okay, I'll give you a length. Y'all don't make me keep all my jewelry. I have so much jewelry. You guys, please buy these from me. Please buy all of this from me. You have no idea. We can't. I just can't. A little over 1.5 long and 1.25 wide because they're in that oval egg shape. Now, yeah, see that? I'm going to put them on for the rest of the sale. How's about that? These will go down to my father's house with me, but you can smell the camphor, which is a Bakelite smell. This one has to be higher. You can smell it just putting them by your nose. You don't even need to rub them and try to heat them up. Just as they waft by you. Ooh, that is sexy. 36 start. I work really hard to find y'all things like this. So now is the time. Now is the time. Okay. Well, y'all, I'm here, but Kathy's talking to me. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for everyone who's here. But I'm getting to that point where I'm going through lots of items and nobody's purchasing. So I've been on close to 2 hours, and that's kind of, if I go 2 hours and I haven't made a sale with all the eclectic items I bring, then I wind down and I stop, because I have really successful days, and I have days where people are looking, people are, whatever, but they're not talking and they're not buying. And I would just, even if people were just talking to me, I would be ecstatic. Kathy's talking to me. She helps me. So, made in Japan. These are, so if they say made in Japan, they're right after the war, where they had to say made in Japan for a short period of time. These are beautiful. Hand painted. Lot of gold paint. The two geishas and their master, the samurai, right? And this, the cherry blossom tree here, is raised in little tiny bumps. I have 3 of these. There's Mount Fuji, I'm assuming, the lake, and their house, and the little cherry tree, and the 2 women in the samurai. Those are the elements, the 3 elements that are required for it to be a geisha ware. Now, this is not the see-through porcelain geisha ware, but it is stunning. Hand painted. Here's the gold edge. I have 3 of them, so that's 1. 2. And I am unsure. This kind of looks like a lantern. And then just 2 random designs. I don't know. Does that represent the artist? And this is, they're walking on a kind of like a little hill path, and this is like a little bridge, right? 2. And there's nowhere. Oh, I'm sorry. I have 4 of them. What the heck am I talking about? I have 4. So you would have a whole set And what I would do with these, I would use them. I would put a piece of saran wrap pulled tight and down around the back. And I would put, a croissant or a piece of pumpkin bread or, a muffin, whatever, something for tea time, dessert on these plates. I would just pull the saran wrap type and make sure it's something you eat with your fingers, just bites, not a fork, and nothing messy. And they will last just fine if you do that. And then you don't wash them. You lightly rub at them with a rag. I'm very lightly. No washing. You will rip all this hand painted beauty right off. Each one of these was hand painted. Could you imagine? And you can almost see my fingers through. Here's a clear coat. This is the only one with some crazing right there on the back with the clear coat. These are very thin and delicate, but I can't say for sure they're porcelain, but I think they may be because they're pretty dang thin. They're pretty thin, so they may be porcelain as well. Okay, so there's 4. Choice 13 each, or all 4 for would be, I can't do math, 40, 52. All 4 for 38, or all 4 for 38. Just today, all 4 for 38. Okay. Look, this one has one little crazing right there underneath the man's foot. It's whatever clear coat they used on these vintage dishes always has some crazing after a long time, and it's just in the clear coat. But it's too bad they used all that clear coat. So your choice, 13 each, or all 4 for 38 is what I think I said. Maybe I said something different. It was either 36 or 38, but right? Okay. So hello everyone. I have more stuff that I can absolutely go through and show. I have more jewelry over here. So you know what I'm going to do? Unless someone requests to see a household item, I'm going to show a few more pieces of jewelry, and then I'm going to end because 2 hours and I haven't made a sale. And that's where I draw the line. It doesn't matter. I want you to come here. I want you to talk to me. I want you to learn. I want you to subscribe. I want you to please hit the thumbs up. I want you to have a good time while you're here. I want you to learn things. I want you to ask questions. I want you to be entertained. But I spend a lot of time buying, curating, separating, putting in bags, setting up each sale, doing previews, and then I come on here for 2 hours. And so I do have to make some money. I think that's reasonable. I mean, it is a business. And while this business is not my only income right now, and I'm okay, I'm okay. Much sooner than later, this is going to have to become a full-time business for me to support myself. So, I'm doing lots of things to tweak my business and how I present things, but my time is money. It is a business. This starts at 18. It is a soapstone, from what I can tell. It looks like a type of soapstone, not resin, although maybe it's just, now let's go with the resin. Let's just make it simple and say resin, but resin isn't right, but maybe it is because I don't know. I don't think so. It's much older. It is Russian icon. Don't ask me what religious icon that is. I don't have a clue. To me, it looks like a queen with an incredibly long dress train swinging on a summer garden bench with a long braid of hair and some flowers. Tug, what are you doing? My dog is doing weird things. Here's the wire edging. They carefully edged it. I believe these were from the 50s. Hi, Lenore. How are you? Welcome in. Here's the pin back. Now, you see why I said soapstone? Because resin is not the right word. There's a shellac on the front and something, but see the lines across it? Like how soapstone, the old soapstone would have. But then when I tap on it, it's like a type of plastic. I do not believe this is from the late 30s to very early 50s. It's not a poured resin. In the detailing on the metal, it's not gold. And look at, you can tell how old this is by the pin back. It is literally just curled around and pulled straight over and goes under. It is very primitive. So I'm going with 30s based on that construction, 20s, 30s, Russian icon pin. How are you, Lenore? How's it going today? So probably about 1 inch in diameter. And I just think this lady is so beautiful. 1 1/4 inches in diameter. 1 1/4 inches. And again, look at that pin. It's just the base metal and then a piece of wire underneath the pin, pulled up, wrapped in a tight circle with tools like I have, these precision German needle nose jewelry pliers, and then pulled straight over and meets the piece that they left on the other side that they crimped over like that to be a rollover. Just like all of that is crimped, round, 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 round. It's a lot of detail work. A lot of detail work. Lacquered. Yeah, lacquered. There you go. Thank you with my words. I need help with words. So these are for sale on my ears for anyone who missed that. So I am at my 2-hour mark. And there's a whole lot of things that anyone who has just come in has missed. And I have not sold very much while I've been up here at my homestead. I don't know why. Sometimes I have weeks where I sell a lot and, I have a lot of chat engagement. And other days, I don't know. And other days, I don't know. It's kind of like that. I don't know. I don't know why no one's buying. I mean, I bring the same stuff. I bring quality stuff. I don't know what's going on. So you know what I'm going to do? These are the last things I'm going to show. I'm not going to show the other jewelry. But I am going to show these because I just think these are so cute. And there's just talk about vintage. I don't know. And then someone went to that where they have these written down. Where'd they go? I don't have them written down. Well, okay. Thank you, Lenore. I mean, I do my very best to remain eclectic, remain true to my style, but also keeping my friends in mind and what it is that they might be interested in and what I think is unique, has a little je ne sais quoi, is pretty, is dramatic, has movement, all of that stuff. All right. So these are going to start, at choice, just in case someone doesn't want all of them. For thank you, Lenore. It's true. $5 each. Yeah. Someone might want all of them. I don't know. These are from like the 60s. I remember these as a little girl. Let's do the other hand. Hold on. These have been tied on ribbon. These are teeny tiny. There's two together. I'm not sure why. Worry dolls. Now, so here's this woman, and then on her back is this one. Now, is that like a mom and a child? I don't know. And these are little handmade, skirts and tops they put on these little, it's like a paper. They're like paper. They're not corn. Later on, corn became very popular. These are paper. This one has legs, so that looks like a gentleman. Worry dolls, almost like a voodoo doll, right? And they're itsy bitsy, probably a half an inch long. So there's 4 altogether on that one. This one has, someone put it on this kind of, I don't even know. It doesn't weigh anything. It's like a fish bobber thing or something. I don't know. And then it has 2 little worry dolls. This one and this one. Does anyone know exactly what you did with worry dolls in the beginning? What were they for? They certainly weren't like to fidget with. So were they like voodoo? Why are they called worry? What are we worrying about? I'd like to know. Because I know that's what they're called, but why? And this is a very, very old, with no clanger, bell. And I mean old. The cut of this, the smashing up of this, everything about this. This very much reminds me of like old Chinese, Tibetan, handmade metal. That this is a much older. I mean, this could be like 30s, 20s. I'm not sure. They wanted to give these some weight. This is just an old, funky little ball. Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure. So that kind of, I don't know. And here, why is there no face showing? Here's this one. And this one. So they're $5 each. Choice. If you wanted all of them, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs, right? This one with this very old, fascinating, handmade metal like bead or something. It's like old Tibetan or something. For all I know, it's actually silver. Really don't know. It's very smushed together. And then this, which I think is a fishing weight. All of them for $12. All of them for $12. They're just, yeah, they remind me of my childhood, but I'm going to have to look up what the heck worry dolls are and why. So, okay. Yeah. Anyone interested in anything they saw? This, I'm going to close. Anyone interested in anything they saw on my preview? I mean, I showed more than half of it. I did. Anyone interested? Did anyone go back and watch at supersonic speed and see an item that I brought up that you want to drop in the chat and ask me about to bring it back and show it? These are the Weiss Bakelite clip-ons that are just out of control sparkle. These things are unbelievable. Anyone? Okay. Well, on that note, I will say, and I have the box, which I put in my description. I have the men's vintage jewelry box with all the tie clips, vintage tie clips and collar and cufflinks in there. It is great, and it is pretty full at this point. It's not inexpensive, but if you have, like I said in my description, if you have a person in your life who still wears the cufflinks, the tie clips, the stick pins, all that, I have a beautiful vintage collection over there, and it would make a wonderful birthday present, Valentine's Day present, unless they think vintage is like gross. It's really cool. The box is the one with the top hat and cane and the orange velvet inside. Ooh, so nice. So if anyone's interested in seeing that, let me know. And this salt glaze pitcher does not have a maker, but it came from back east. It's really nice. No maker. I'm thinking 1970s. Beautiful colors. 25. Okay. So anything on this live, you have to claim by 5 o'clock my time, which is California time, which is Pacific Daylight Time. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you claim it and I don't have your information, I need your real name, your YouTube name, your address with zip code, and your PayPal email when you claim it. Okay? Because I'm leaving tomorrow and I have to take everything down to my father's. This is the end of my 2-week Build-A-Box. Kathy, there you go. Because I kept thinking not Chinese didn't sound right, but South American, Guatemalan. There you go. See, that makes sense. That totally rings all the bells correctly. Guatemalan. Oh. So that's really cool. I wonder if you would take those little dolls and tie them onto their clothes and stuff so they could just have them and tell all their stuff too. Imagine what those dolls have heard. Heck yeah. That's a whole story right there. So that's what you would need to do. I will be back on Friday, my Friday show and tell. I appreciate everyone who stopped in today and hung out with me. Please, even though there's only a few of you here, hit the thumbs up. Share my channel out. Subscribe. Let other people know that, I have a lot of really interesting, eclectic, and trending, and again, eclectic and unique items that I bring twice a week, Mondays and Fridays. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the chats real soon. I'm going to go eat some lunch. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your January 20th.